Welcome to another episode of Horror Never Dies, Season 3, Episode 6, Monsters of Horror. I'm joined here with my co host, Rashad G. What's up,
You,
bro?
hey
And I
man, what's
want to,
good?
I also want to just give you a shout out because you came up with the idea and stuff like that. And I was just like, okay, I could do that. And you know what I'm
You know what?
saying? Pick the
I can't take the credit, man. That was all Jim Beam, man.
Yeah, it's like, because I don't think we have talked about the monsters and stuff like that within horror just yet. Like probably mentioned it, but never like dedicated a whole episode to it. But we'll get to that. But I wanted to just like because I had a question. This is like kind of like non-horror related, but would you trade? And anybody that is watching this live or checking out the replay, you can answer this as well in the comments or whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Would you trade in all your streaming services for exchange for a movie theater subscription, like either Regal or AMC? Because I would feel like that's the wave to go right now.
Mm,
But I was talking about my homie BG about it, but he's like, a lot of people don't go to the movies. But at the same time, with me, I feel like A List has low key enticed me more to go to the theater. You know, like I would still go to the theater regardless, like if I didn't have it, because I just made that choice to switch because I was like, man, I'm spending a lot of money. So I
yeah,
acknowledge that it's a lot of money. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, streaming services are going up, you
they
know?
are. They are. That's kind of a tricky question, just because the benefit of streaming is that it's in the comfort of your own home, and a lot of times
Yeah,
not only do they have the movies that you want to watch, but they also have a lot of shows that you want to watch too. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
throwback joints. And with the movies, that like the biggest thing now with the movies too is just getting there. You know, like I
Yeah, that's what we kind of was talking about. It's like, yeah, that's
yeah,
fair because there are some people that you'd be surprised that like they'd be like, yo, like the closest theater to me is like an hour away or 30 minutes away or something like that. Where
yeah,
in my area, I'm blessed to be where I'm at. That's why I'm like, yo, I don't even want to move because like I'm in the perfect fucking spot. I got all the fucking food places. Like there's a new food spot popping. I'm pretty sure we're gonna start getting um like a Bucky's or some shit out here to rival Wawa or something like that. But you know, I'm lucky enough to have at least like let me count. I could probably count like 5 theaters within driving distance. I mean, there's one in my
oh wow,
hometown that I always go to, and that's like walking distance from my old crib. That's like that used to be a thing. People had we had the movie trail. That was a thing.
mm,
That's still kind of there, but people don't walk around like they used to back in the day. Because
right,
back in the day,
right,
everybody walked everywhere. We had
facts,
no
facts,
excuses. We could just be
hmm
walking everywhere. You know what I'm
facts,
saying? Like walking to the movies. Motherfuckers will walk to the next town over, walk to the mall that's like fucking miles away or some shit like that. But it was
yeah,
crazy. So I'm in that position where like I have options. You know what I'm saying? Even though I don't use those options very often like that, I only stick to like mainly like three at most, like those three, like three in my area.
hmm
But I can understand why somebody would be like, okay, I can't make it out there. But I think it's a interesting exchange. And I was thinking about trying to test this out for next year and just
right,
after Stranger Things. Not to say that there's not going to be things to watch, but I wanted to kind of see just to see like because I feel like the trade off. You're saving a shit ton of more money,
hmm
and you're making money back with the AMC shit,
right,
and you got discount days, so it's like you have the options to like kind of just really save money in that case. But
oh yeah.
on
Well, I
on
mean,
the street, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, yeah. AMC A list is like that's like the best deal out there right now. You know what I mean? But
Mhm,
unfortunately for me, the closest theater to me is like 6 miles away, but that's Amstar. It's not AMC, so
mhm.
scratch that out, right? But the closest AMC to me is 12 miles away, so
That's
I have to,
crazy.
yeah, so I have to get
12
on the
miles.
highway, I'm gonna tell you real quick what happened to me today, man. Check it out. I made a video about it earlier. I was supposed to go see that new DiCaprio movie, right?
Yeah,
And so it started at 1, but AMC time that's really like 125, 130. So
yeah.
it's about a 25 minute drive to get there.
And
And
wait, and then they're not gonna start that bitch until 104 or 105.
yeah,
That
yeah,
always
yeah.
happens to my shit. But like, go ahead.
Right. So check that. So I'm getting ready to get off the highway, right? And the traffic is like all the way out to the highway just about. So I'm like, damn, why is this shit so backed up? Make a long story short, the light to get off the exit was broke. So there was one cop directing traffic, and you couldn't even turn where you're supposed to turn at. We had to go the other way, which means now you have to go down. Now you have to go down a quarter mile and make a U-turn to come back up. So I got off about like 114, which gives me about 10, 15 minutes to, and I got off at 114, right? Perp. I didn't get to the light to turn to the movie till 155. That's how long that shit was. It was bumper to bumper
Yeah,
traffic going both ways, yo. So I missed the movie. I couldn't catch it.
yeah. You
I,
would have
mi- I
just
missed
like,
the movie.
cause I don't like missing like even like 5 minutes or some shit of a
Right,
movie. Like that shit fucks
right.
me up. Like I
So
need to see like, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yeah, so
I feel it.
I got mad and went on home, man. The whole time I'm driving home, I kept thinking Thanos is right. I said I wish I had the gauntlet so I could have snapped these motherfuckers away. I was that mad, perp. I was mad, bro.
I've been in those situations where it's like fuck.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, because I'm really strict about that shit. Like just being on time at least, like or just
right.
catching the movie. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that. I don't have people just like some people just walk into the fucking movie while it's like fucking an hour in. I'm like, what the fuck y'all doing?
I can't do that. Yeah, I can't do that. Yeah, man. So I was so I missed them. Yeah, so going back to what you were saying, there's pros and cons to both of it. Like saying like if you're like a cinephile like us, that we love going to the movies, but it's more convenient where you can just watch it at home and the movie drops. A couple of weeks later. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Mm.
why go to the movies? It's going to be on streaming in 3 weeks. So
But
so
I
pretty
just,
much.
but like also just cinephile aside, I just feel like how can you just say like watching a movie. I watched fucking what did I watch in Dolby? It chapter one. I'm like, bro, how the fuck could you say that this watching a movie in this kind of format with a big ass fucking screen, the
Right.
sound is going crazy, is better than at home. I can't because at home I'll be distracted. Like
Yeah,
that's the shit. Like
you go to sleep easier because, like I said, me and my son we watched Demon Slayer, but we watched it here. I'm not going to incriminate myself, but we watched it here. And both of us was knocked out within 30 minutes, and I don't think that would have happened if we actually went to go see it.
mhm.
Because when you're in the comfort of your own home, you're comfortable. You're more likely
Oh
to
yeah,
go to sleep.
that movie hits different on IMAX screen for sure. Like that
Mhm.
shit. Like that's why it's like I've always like wanted more anime movies to just be on that IMAX. Whether
Right.
they use the full extent to it or just put it on there. Like I just with the sound and everything, I just
Mhm.
it amplifies it. That I wish they would have
Right.
done that with because they re-released AOT since we're talking about monsters and
Mhm.
kaiju's and different things and whatnot. They re-released that in theaters. But the weird thing about it, maybe it was just my theater, like the audio just felt off, even though they said they like redid the audio, remastered the audio specifically for theaters. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But
Right.
it's just like certain things like that. It's just like why I love going to the theater. You can't like really beat that. And it's and another plus about it is like it's you getting out of the fucking house for a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Instead of
Facts.
just being cooped
Yeah.
up, you're at least going somewhere. It's yeah, you're going somewhere another like closed off space and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But like at least you're getting out the house for a little bit. You can kind of turn off.
Right.
That's the only time I turn off my phone. Like
Yeah,
is
yeah.
in the
Well,
movie.
just that environment too, just the atmosphere of the theater, man. Like you can't put it into words, but it's just I don't know. I hope theaters never go away. I had a bad experience today, but I'll be going to the theater as long as I live, man.
Right. And it's rare for
Yeah.
me to have bad experiences. Not to say like for people that go to that's why I'm lucky I have options because I know for a fact like Cinema Day is a good way to kind of test that out, or just a big movie. Like
Mm-hmm.
I know where all the fucking uppity motherfuckers is gonna be at. Like
Right, right.
little young the young kids that just
Mm-hmm.
just go there
Mm-hmm.
just to talk. Because I remember on
Just be
Cinema Day,
disruptive. Yeah.
yeah, when I went on Cinema Day, I went to go see Talk to Me, bro. Literally, I was sitting next to Brenda, bro. I was sitting literally. I was
Yeah.
like, bro, this chick is literally, she's literally talking through the whole entire movie
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
right next to me. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck. And then
So
she seemed like
well,
she seemed like she drunk too. So I was like, I don't want to fucking, you know what I'm saying? I
well,
don't. Go ahead.
yeah. No, I'm saying that's another con, man, is that people don't have theater etiquettes. You know what I'm saying? Like either they talking through the whole movie, or you got that motherfucker that sit next to you that stinks. That
Yeah,
and man, when I saw that Finn Wolfhard horror movie that came out earlier, perp,
nigga was thinking.
I'm the only one in there, right? I'm the only one in there, but the seat that I was sitting in, whoever sat there before me stunk that shit up, bro. I like, cause first of all, who the fuck is that smell, man? And even when I got up and moved, it was like it was still on me. I had to go home and take another shower. That's that's,
Yeah,
that's
that's
how
it.
that's how bad it was. It followed me
Yeah,
all the
that
way
two
home,
week
bro.
funk.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, the theater etiquettes, man.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
and it's just gonna be on the theaters because we definitely that's one thing that I would suggest AMC do in more theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Bring back ushers.
Yeah. Yeah.
That also opens up the door for more jobs. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Somebody that's not gonna be on their phone. Of course, if you're gonna be an usher, you can't be on your fucking phone. Nobody wants to see that shit. But you see somebody on the
Right.
phone, boom, you just can put the flashlight on them or
Mm-hmm.
some shit. But anyways, that's
Yeah.
just something I had on my mind. We could probably talk about it another time and stuff like that. But
Right.
it's really
Right.
interesting. So let me know what y'all are watching as far as anything horror related, or something that you are looking forward to watching. Because spooky season is right around the corner. By next week, we'll be in Parktober, and I'm super excited. Got a lot of things planned for the most part. Um, Not planned as far as like I know exactly what the next episodes are and what we're going to talk about, but I got an idea. Just just different things and all the different movies coming out is exciting. And with the themes being monsters, we got a lot of like news on the Bride, that Bride movie, that Frankenstein movie with Christian Bale
Oh,
and
Christian Bale.
whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then we got, like I say, we got the but in November, which is odd that they put it in November. The Guillermo del Toro, I think it's del Toro that's doing that
Mm-hmm.
one. Um, that one's going to be interesting. So we got that, but it was so dope that how long monsters have been around, even just going back to the Universal monsters. Like that's
Right.
the OG monsters that started it all. You got Frankenstein, which is like that's like technically the
Mm-hmm.
first sci-fi film, if you want to really put it like
Facts.
that. Um, and then you even stuff that predates that, like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Them fucking was it like 1930s, and was
Mm-hmm.
it Carnival of the Soul and stuff like the or not carnivals, freaks
Oh yeah, freaks.
with the
Yeah.
yeah, you got the with the circus people and stuff like that. That came out, I think, in the 30s or 40s.
Yeah, it was like 31, I think. 30, well, 31, 32, or 33. It was like early 30s when that came
See,
out.
like that you could remake.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I don't know how people would. Well, horror don't really be on that shit. Like anything is pretty much anything goes in horror at this point. They're not gonna be like, oh, like disabled people are just like certain people are gonna be offended by this. Not, I don't think that's gonna be a case.
Right.
Um, but then like it's just really dope to see how far the different monsters have kind of evolved. Like whether you want to consider, you could say, Ghoul, Jason, and them are like kind of the new type of, like, at the time, were like a different type of monster, sort of like Frankenstein, Dracula, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
I was thinking that, like, like we were talking about monsters. I mean, because being that we mention them so much, like with the slashes and stuff, like I like almost like the monsters, but not including Jason and Freddy, because we talk about them so much, right?
hmm
Yeah,
they're technically monsters
they're
too, and then, but then
monsters. Yeah,
you go to the kaiju stuff, and just like with everything Godzilla, and you know why that was created. Like and that's crazy to kind of think about, just of a history of, like, what if World War II never happened? Like, will we still get Godzilla? Like,
probably not.
and that's what's crazy. Like how a lot of these monsters and stuff are created because of traumatic things in
Because of
history and
certain
some
events,
shit. Like,
yeah. Yeah,
it's
that's a
wild.
good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, without World War II, there wouldn't have been no Godzilla, and without shit. I don't know. For some reason, I keep like you watch the old '30s Kong. They had him looking really niggerish. So was King Kong a result of a white man's fear of black men taking they girls?
Absolutely, absolutely. Even with
Damn.
Birth
So
of the Nation, they looked at us as monsters in that movie.
they had some shit. So yeah, so King Kong is a result of racism.
Yeah, this is crazy. It's crazy,
Yeah.
man. And that's what I say, like, horror's always been woke, man. Like,
Facts.
always, always been woke. Whether it's been like directly or indirectly, and so, like,
Oh
it's
yeah.
crazy.
Oh yeah.
Then we go. Then we have the barbarian. You know what I'm saying? The titty monster and shit like that. Shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's just crazy how we go from Frankenstein to the titty monster. Like,
Ain't that some shit?
and then
Yeah.
you got the other titty monster in the Substance.
Yeah. I couldn't look at no titties for at least a week after that movie. Red day in the morning.
And even on the young not young adults, but like the kid side of thing with the Goosebumps, there's this one story called The Blob Ate Everybody. And I wish they would do more of these type of concepts, because you know how horror, like, once something gets popular, they're gonna pump out like 10 or 12 more of those shits
Right.
like
Get
the
some
next year.
copycats. Right.
But in The Blob Ate Everybody, it's pretty much this kid writing a story about the blob that ate everybody, but the more he's writing about it, the more it's coming true in his own town, and it's just eating everybody. Like, I'm pretty sure there has been a lot of movies like that, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
surprised we don't get more movies that are like that.
Would you consider the Blob a monster?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Even though it was just fucking purple slime, but especially that 1988 movie. Now, I vaguely remember the 1950s Blob movie, but I remember that 1988 one being really gruesome
Mm.
and gory. Yeah, so I guess you can count that one because that shit. I think that's very underrated. The '88 Blob.
I could see them, like, they could definitely make a modern day blob, because, like, don't make it CG. I think it works better when they make it practical. It looks silly practical, but, like, at least you could do some cool things with special effects now. You couldn't do
Right.
back then. Um, but yeah, that'd be cool. The Thing is a great monster. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Monster movie, but, like, it's more dealing with, like, the paranoia of just not knowing who to trust.
Right.
That was really cool. But yeah, Godzilla's probably, like, obviously
Well, he's the
the
king.
ki- the ki-
That's
the
the
king of
king.
monsters. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the king of monsters, and just how many spin-offs and how far that has come. Was it been 75 years or something like that?
Something like that. Something like that. Yeah. Because I
It's
actually I made a
crazy.
list. Yeah, I made a list of 'cause I said, okay, as far as monsters go, like, yeah, like with the kaijus, I said, yeah, Godzilla definitely is the king. And dog, as bad as I wanted to put Kong in there because I love Kong, and every time they make a Godzilla Kong movie, I'm rooting for Kong to whoop his ass. I think that's because of that connection of Kong was based off of a nigga. You know what I'm saying? So so I just had that connection with Kong, but then I think about it, I can't put Kong up there with some, just because perp, every movie you see Kong in, either he's simping, he's getting killed, or he's getting his ass whooped.
That's
You know what I'm
true. You're
saying?
not getting. He doesn't get his just due.
Like the only time you seen a movie where Kong didn't get killed or he wasn't simping was Skull Island.
That is true. Skull Island is fire.
Right. That's the only time. But other than that, Kong is always getting killed or or dying and dying with his son in his hand. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. And it's like, and it's crazy too because I was just watching this newer anime that came out like last year, Kaiju number 8,
Right.
and you would like that because it's like it's kind of in the same vein of like the genre shonen. You know, that's like that's just like kind of the demographic, like the like what you consider like young adults, like comic stuff, like pretty much like Superman. You know, in that
Mhm.
demographic type of shit. Um,
Right.
but it's and but instead of it being about like high schoolers or like teens or something like that, it's more focused on this guy that's in his 30s. He doesn't feel like he can, you know, it's kind of a wrap for him. He's kind of having like a midlife crisis kind of thing, and that's very
Right.
rare for like animes to kind of do that from that perspective and stuff like that. But that's a great show. That's pretty much like Attack on Titan meets Pacific Rim and stuff like they're fighting all these different kaiju's and stuff like that. And Attack
Yeah.
on Titan's another great um monster, like things that based on monsters, like people that get turned into titans and stuff like, but it's also much deeper than that. Very political and stuff like and whatnot.
Right.
But it's just crazy that like those animes come from, you know, they're inspired, definitely inspired, get inspiration from like Godzilla and stuff and what Godzilla was doing. Because earlier, was it last month? I should say that was my first time watching Shin Godzilla,
Hmm.
and I thought that was a really fascinating movie.
Is that the one where he takes like different forms or whatever? Like he goes through
Yeah,
different. Okay. Okay.
yeah, different phases and stuff, and that was really interesting. That was a really interesting take on just Godzilla as a whole, and just even the look of it was really disturbing, and just like the thing looked nasty, like,
Wow.
and just completely but just even just them kind of planning out like what to do with this or how he's evolving and why is he evolving and
Hmm.
picking up on certain stuff is interesting, and going from that to like Godzilla minus one, bringing them back to the basics pretty
Right. The
much,
roots. Yeah. Yeah.
and so
Well, he's
now
not
you
because
have
I think isn't that version of Godzilla like the smallest version since like the old movies, right?
yeah, I would say so because the one in the legendary ones, he's pretty big.
He's gigantic. Yeah.
Yeah. Um
That dude sleeps in the freaking Roman Coliseum. That's how big that motherfucker is.
yeah, and then like it's crazy that now we got two different Godzillas that both people can really appreciate.
Mhm.
I like Godzilla minus one a little bit more because it's like
Yeah.
that gives me it reminds me of AOT a lot of the because the first thing that you see in AOT, one of the opening scenes is that you see this colossal titan. He's like 60 meters, so he'd be probably the same height as like the legendary Godzilla or some shit like that. He
Right.
kicks open the fucking wall, and all these thousands of people are fucking getting killed with all the rubble and shit. Like just him by him, just the force of him kicking that shit and just fucking lit. But just like stuff like that reminded me of AOT,
Mhm.
when and just the dread and stuff, um and I hope you get around to watching AOT because I think when you get to seeing I know you don't know what the rumbling is, but when you get to see something like the rumbling, like
Right.
that shit's like some crazy shit. Um
Okay.
that's a great alternative to the infinity, you know, the infinity stones and stuff like that, if you had the power to just do whatever the fuck. But
No doubt.
um
But yeah,
but yeah,
but so as far as the
but
kaiju, so yeah, definitely, yeah, you put Godzilla as the king, and so who you think are some underrated kaiju's that don't get mentioned enough besides like the
within that
main ones like
universe,
within that universe? Yeah,
um I'm surprised a lot of people like Rodan.
same, same.
He's cool. Like I think the modern Rodan is pretty cool, but they don't really do nothing with him. He's just more like support.
Not so much in the Godzilla universe, but just like overall, like like you think like nobody really talks about the Cloverfield monster and how menacing
Oh,
that
okay,
thing
yeah,
looks.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
even though Cloverfield does have a huge like cult following though, still too,
Mhm.
like people love those movies. and that's a really underrated monster as well. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I bet I saw that opening weekend, man, and that thing like tripped me out, man. Especially when you see the motherfucker like walking through the rubble and shit, and then
Yeah,
he jumps up and was able to get the helicopter. Like that was some scary shit at the time.
that's a behind the scenes I want to kind of see. Like, how the fuck did they do that? Like, that was a
Yeah,
really good, and it had that found footage style and stuff. It was really dope.
right, right. Cause remember the trailer when they first before you even saw the monster, they had the trailer where you see the head of the Statue of Liberty,
Mm.
fall on the ground, and I'm like, damn, what the fuck did that?
And you know what's interesting, and what people don't even probably realize because of these new Godzilla movies is that Godzilla is in the category of horror. Like,
Yeah,
but I think they've gotten so far. That's why I liked about Minus One. They kind of
they
like
bring it back.
actually made
Yeah.
that shit feel like a horror movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
And then you got
people forget that Godzilla was a menace. You know what I'm saying? Like,
mhm.
yeah, and the legendary ones, like, yeah, he's the king where he attacks wherever there's a monster that can pose as a threat. Like, he has to always mark his territory. Like, nah, I'm the motherfucking man. But at -1 is like, no, I'm killing people. I'm eating people. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
I am a threat wherever I go.
He like to fuck with people too. Like,
Yeah.
he's an asshole. That Godzilla is an asshole, bro. And like, I can't wait
Mhm.
to see what he does when he comes back. Like, he's
Definitely,
gonna be even
definitely.
mad. He's gonna be even more petty. That's the thing. He's petty. He's petty.
Yeah, very petty, very, very. Yeah, with a big ego. So that's why he the king, man. Um, but what the fuck was I
Would you
gonna
be
say?
opposed to a movie of Godzilla talking?
No, yeah, he can't talk. No, he can't talk. No.
See, that was what really crazy. Like, this is like somewhat of a spoiler for Attack on Titan. Um, but like, there's a point where you don't know if these Titans can talk or not. But then you meet one that's very similar to like that looks very oddly similar to like um Kong. Not more not his ape type, but like it's more like he was more like Scar. He was a little bit more like was that his name? The other monkey?
The Scar King?
The Scar King. Yeah, he was almost
Yeah.
like that kind of monkey kind of a little bit, but like
Okay.
he would talk and then like the dude that he was referring, he's like, yo, like these motherfuckers could talk. They're
Yeah,
intelligent, like
Godzilla should never like Godzilla talk is like the equivalent of making Tom and Jerry talk. Like the shit just it's
yeah,
not
that shit's
right.
weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's really weird. Yeah.
but even that, like, just kind of like a side, like getting sidetracked. But with that's an impressive feat that for them to have those two characters, Tom and Jerry, just not talk. And
Yeah.
it's just something about it's just something about like even just having creatures or whether it be a big ass creature
Mm-hmm.
or like we were talking about like slashers. There's something about just not having a speaking role that
Mm-hmm.
is kind of underrated. Some people might not like appreciate it, but like there's an art to that.
Yeah,
Going
there
way
are.
back to going to the Frankenstein, like
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Frankenstein, I think in the original movie, I don't think Frankenstein never spoke, did he?
no, I don't remember. I think the bride did.
Yeah, well, yeah, Bride of Frankenstein, yeah, he did speak. I think. Yeah, he did speak in Bride of Frankenstein, didn't he? Didn't he say something like we belong dead or something like that?
Something like that. He was just like it was like
Yeah,
one word shit, like not like
one
full
word. Yeah.
sentences, but that would be interesting. But I'm really curious to see where this goes. You know, with
Mhm.
Frankenstein coming out this year, next year, The Bride, and you know if that's going to kind of breathe
Look,
new air into like the Universal monsters because they know they've been trying to kind of get that back. And also you have what's his face Robert Edgar. He's doing the werewolf joint. So
let me ask you that. I think we briefly talked about this before, but so it's crazy how after all these years they tried to remake Frankenstein, redo Frankenstein, revamp him. Well, what is it about that 1931 movie, that version of Frankenstein, that still reigns supreme after all these years, after all the iterations of that character? Why is it that 1931 still stands out among all of them?
because I think the one easy answer is just because it was the first.
Mm.
So when you're in the first, you kind of set the standard.
But I mean,
but
but you got to
also,
think, Dracula was the first, but vampires have evolved, and now Dracula's like not even the
yeah,
second. You know what I'm saying? Even
that's
the
a good point.
Wolfman was cool for his time, but werewolves have evolved since then in leaps and bounds.
I think with vampires, it just the popularity just took off. The same thing. And just not in the same way as like werewolves because they just didn't have a lot of people just making them shits. Like there has been a lot of werewolf movies, but I get what you mean by like nobody's really outdone that Frankenstein.
Right.
What was the one Frankenstein movie that came out? I think it was in like the 80s or 90s.
Well, I know you had a movie called The Bride, which came out in '85 with Sting was Dr. Frankenstein, and the monster in there looked he looked weird. I think De Niro even played him one time in the '90s. I think
Mm.
De Niro
But
played.
even like, but you make a good point because like even you say like just naming a random thing like how many different Christmas carols we've gotten, but like there's ones that have been better than
Right.
the very first one, or some people have like the black and white original one, but then there's been so many different iterations that have been even better. And maybe one of these, either the one that comes out this year or next year, might do something completely different. Maybe The Bride more so. I think The Bride
Right.
is going to do something a little bit
I
more
don't know.
different, but
Maybe I'm thinking maybe also too. I think just maybe the way Boris Karloff played that character because
yeah.
he played the creature as terrifying but yet vulnerable and yet sympathetic. Like you felt sorry for him, because everybody was trying to kill him. And even when he threw that little girl in the water, which I thought was funny as hell. But like he didn't try to kill her. You know what I'm saying? But everybody hated him for it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think kind of like Robert Englund playing Freddy, man. I think Boris Karloff just really captured that character, and nobody's been able to duplicate that.
And it's just like the movie, those older movies are just such gems. And I was even made a post about it on Twitter. I was like, yo, we need to have more black and white movies and TV shows. I know a lot of people don't like that shit, but there's something about that aesthetic that um you can't just get in color.
Right.
You can really get creative or just do like really crazy shots that look really dope. Especially going back to like Night of the Living Dead. There's some really cool shots in that shit. I was like, man,
Yeah.
especially when they touch them up or remaster them. Like watching like the 4K or you watch the regular Blu-ray or the 4K of Psycho. That shit looks like like a completely different movie.
Yeah. I was just thinking about Psycho, how because at the time, color, movies were in color, but Psycho being in black and white just really stood the test of time over the years, where it still holds up to this day. You know what I mean?
And even like Werewolf by Night, like I really like that that was a huge swing for Marvel.
Right.
And they should have promoted that more as much as they promote. Because I've seen so much promotion for fucking Marvel Zombies more than anything else that they ever promoted. I was like, what the fuck? Anyways,
Yeah.
but
what's the last black and white movie that was it that Willem Dafoe movie? What was that shit called?
yeah. The Lighthouse.
The Lighthouse. Yeah, was that the last
That was
black and
cool.
white movie that released? Right.
Fully in black and white. I would say so. Yeah, I'll probably have to look it up, but like that's the one. That's what I can remember the most. But I would really like. Nah, I'm not saying every movie needs to be in black and white, but I'm just saying it's something new but familiar at the same time. It's something like because we're so used to these really oversaturated kind of movies. And another thing, with One Battle of Another is out there when they're using that VistaVision. That shit is fucking fire. And just when you do get around to seeing it, you'd be like, yeah, this movie is just really beautifully shot. And I was like, more movies need to kind of use this kind of VistaVision type of shit. Like I want to see like because I know Sinners used a couple scenes with VistaVision, but like I want to see like a full horror movie in VistaVision or something like that. That'd be fucking crazy. Because the clarity and like the different kind of shots you can get with that shit is pretty crazy.
Well, what horror movie would you have liked to have seen in black? Like, what horror movie do you think would have worked better if it was in black and white that you could think of? Like, off the top of the dome, on the top of the dome. I just thought
Like
of Jeepers
like a
Creepers.
modern joke, like turning a
Like a
modern.
modern joint, modern
Okay.
throwback, whatever. Like to me, I thought Jeepers Creepers. I think if Jeepers Creepers would have been filmed in black and white,
You can
how
get some crazy
terrifying that shit
shots.
would have been. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
You could have you could have his eye, like you could maybe add like a slight glow to his eyes or some shit like that, or
Mm-hmm.
get it on like a certain shot. But I would say Pearl, man. Pearl in black and white,
Mm.
I think would be interesting. Um,
I can see that.
the ugly stepsister,
I can see that too.
because that has that whimsical kind of moments and stuff. Like I think that'd
Right.
be. I almost said the demeanor, but the last demeanor, but that shit dark as hell already. So that shit might.
I can
I'm
go with
just
that.
thinking like, yeah, like right now I'm thinking like, what are some horror movies? Oh, Midsummer.
I never watched. I never sat through that.
But you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. I know you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah, Ari
yeah.
Aster. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I like Hereditary, maybe.
I can see Hereditary. As much as I ain't like that, you know what? That movie probably would have worked better for me in black and white. It probably would
You
have.
didn't like Hereditary? Why don't people like Hereditary, man? That movie is really fucking brilliant.
Oh, let me tell you something. I saw that opening weekend, right? And as I'm walking out, I thought I was just tripping. I'm like, dog, that sucked. There was an old lady walking out right next to me. I said, did you like that? She's like, I didn't get it. I said, yeah, it was boring. I said, yeah, it was.
I wouldn't say it was boring, man. Because like, yo, if you really like, because from the very start of the movie, like they just kind of leave the like they give you the breadcrumbs of just what to expect, even with the old girl with her chopping the heads off, and that being symbolism for her leaving it. That movie is just, I feel like that was Toni Collette's like best performance. She was fucking crazy, especially when it like
good. Yeah.
Once we get to like the later half, like later parts of the movie. But I think you should add that to your list for
like,
spooky.
Give it a second chance. Yeah, I think
I think because it could have just been just not could have been an off day, because I've been feeling that sometimes with certain movies, because I'm like, did I really like that? That's how I felt about Sinners, because like, did I like that? Or and then when I watched it again, I was just like, okay, I liked it more the more and more I watched it,
right,
and started kind of picking up on the themes. But like Hereditary is really not only like a beautiful shot like movie, but just the themes that was going for, and it was really cool.
Well, the props I
it.
will give it. What's your girl name again?
Toni Collette.
Toni Collette. Yeah, she was the best part of the movie. I will give it that. I did like her
I
performance.
am your mother.
Especially she started bugging out.
I am your mother. That fucking face on your face. I was like, yo, she definitely improv that shit. I was like, yeah, she was going the fuck off. I was like, that's fucking scary. Her banging her head on the fucking wall and shit. That shit was crazy.
I was buck wild. Oh, I just thought about this too. I guess you can technically call it a horror movie because it is called Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh yeah, the little plant shit. Yeah.
Yeah, but check it out. But Little Shop of Horror with so they have two endings to that movie, right? Did you ever see the alternate ending?
I don't think I know. I feel like I heard that they had alternate endings. I probably didn't.
Yeah. So there's alternate, and I have that one. So there's an alternate ending where the Audrey 2 wins in the end, and they mass reproduce a whole bunch of them. They take over the fucking earth. So the movie ends with a whole bunch of kaiju. Audrey 2 is walking around just eating everybody, and the movie goes off. So I could definitely see that in black and white, and with that ending, that'll be a totally terrifying movie, man. That'll be like the first horror movie musical that you see that would actually scare you.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to see more, because like, me and my homie BG always had this like kind of back and forth about like live action anime adaptations and stuff like that. But like me, like I always would want to see an Attack on Titan, just because like even the anime is cinematic itself, but I think that's something that could also be elevated and get more people to kind of just check out both. They did make a Japanese live action, but it's just they completely did something completely different with it. Not like, you know what I'm saying? I just look at everything that we've gotten as far as like Godzilla -1, or even just Pacific Rim, and just how the world and just how things operate in AOT, it could definitely be done in live action.
Mm-hmm.
And even I could see them even doing Kaiju #8 because that shit is definitely. I think that would be um also more popular, probably more popular with people. You know what I'm saying? Because it's pretty much like very similar to Pacific Rim, but I
Right.
feel like the stories are much better because it's like one of the main characters becomes a kaiju. That's why it's called Kaiju #8 and stuff and whatnot. Um, so seeing the future of it, because we know we got another Godzilla movie coming out in like 2027. I don't know what direction they're gonna go with that. Like, I would want them to kind of get a little bit more serious.
Talking about the
You know, I
Godzilla
think
Kong joints.
yeah, I feel like they sometimes they're like one movie will go in the right step and just be like, okay, we got less humans here, right? That's
Right.
good.
Right.
And then we'll get the next one, but then like they'll take another step back and be like, no, we don't want more humans, or
Mm-hmm.
just the tone is off, or just it's a little like you said, they kind of mistreat Kong, or just don't give him like his
Yeah.
just due. He'll have cool scenes, but then he'll end up just kind of. But I guess that's kind of just to show that he is more relatable with the humans than he is with like
I was about to say, but they also
actual
have to
monsters.
they have to do that because they have to maintain Godzilla's dominance. You know what I'm saying? So even though
Yeah,
they'll give Kong enough cool stuff to do, but at the end of the day, like this is my movie, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
and it'd be cool if they switch it up for once. You know what I'm saying? Like this time, no, like Godzilla gonna get his head chopped off or some shit like that.
Right, right. Well, I mean that came close to happening in what that first one when they fought Mega Godzilla, where Kong had to save his
Yeah,
ass. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. They
I
are a
guess that
dope tag team, though. They are a
they
dope
are,
tag team. Not gonna lie.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that, I guess that's some good compromising too. It's like, okay, this is Godzilla's movie, but Kong people are like, well, Kong has to shine too. Okay, well, I tell you what, we'll make the first fight a tie. The second fight, Godzilla wins, and then the third fight, y'all team up, and then y'all both win. All right, that'll work.
It should have just been like, all right, Godzilla got this one, or just give Kong this one so you get because he hasn't become King Kong yet. So
Right, right, right.
unless if
Yeah,
that's what they're gonna go for, like that's what they should have called the next movie. It should have been Godzilla and King Kong.
right.
But
Well,
maybe that needs a separate movie.
all right, wait. Here's another one I got for you, bro. So if you to say what's your Mount Rushmore of space monsters?
Space Monsters.
Yeah.
Uh, I can't really answer that.
I got some. I wrote them down.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
When he hit, here go. I got the Xenomorph.
Okay, yeah, okay,
I got the Predator. I got the Quiet Place monsters. I forgot what those monsters are called. The Quiet Place monsters and the Thing. That'll be my
okay,
Mount Rushmore of space
okay.
creatures. Yeah.
Okay, now that you kind of give me so now something kind of pop up. I'm a cheat. Well, now I'm not gonna cheat because like we talking about all mediums and stuff like that. I'll put first I'll put Tio Celis, the eye monster from
From
Alien
Alien
Earth.
Earth. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he up
Yeah.
there, bro. He up there, bro.
Yeah.
The Xenomorphs.
Okay.
Yep. Freezer from Dragon Ball Z because that motherfucker's an alien and he's a monster. Oh,
Okay. Okay. That counts. That counts.
yeah. Fucking. Hmm. What's that? Trying to think. Cause I don't want to like repeat.
I know I had some good picks.
I'll just keep it those three right now, off the top of my head.
Okay.
Tough. Come up with something else. Oh wait, no. I like the. There's these monsters. Space creatures, whatever. Fuck. There's this anime. They also made a show out of it too, just recently. Called Parasite. That shit's pretty cool because they're like these little parasites that come down and like they take over the host's body and they turn it. They could turn their like fingers into blades or just like different types of shit or just different
Oh
types of
shit.
weapons when they take
Okay.
over humans and stuff. I'll show you that shit, but that shit's fucking fire. But
Oh
like,
damn.
yeah, I picked that. Yeah, space monsters is crazy because that's pretty terrifying.
Yeah, I mean,
especially if that happened in real life.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, yeah, well, so if I would crown the goat, even though I gave my 4, but if I crown the goat, man, I gotta go the Xenomorph, man, especially the
Oh,
Queen, you know,
actually, I'll take back my 4th. I'll put Venom there. I'll put the symbiote and shit like that.
Venom. Okay, good pick, good
Yeah,
pick.
this or
Yeah,
just the symbiote in general, because I think the
hmm
symbiote, regardless of also depending on who it attaches itself to, but
right. Nah, that's some good picks, man. But like I said, I'll put the Xenomorph at number 1 just because it was like the
it's iconic.
original, yeah, the original like terrifying space horror monster. And I mean, I like what they did with Alien Earth, where we actually see the progression of a little baby xenomorph into an adult.
Yeah. Why do
Like
so many people hate the finale though?
it was a little underwhelming, but I get it. You
Some
know,
people said that nothing happened.
I wouldn't say nothing happened, but it definitely planted the seeds for next season.
Yeah, and it's just like, bro,
Yeah.
and I was just like, that's what season ones are like. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like,
right.
it's gonna be a continuing story. That's what fucking television is. I feel like people lost the plot with that, but
Yeah, no,
I just
I
been
didn't
seeing
mind
some
it.
of the extreme takes though, honestly.
Yeah, no, I didn't mind it. I enjoyed the finale, and I mean, yeah, it was a little underwhelming, you know, a little left a little much to be desired, but like I knew what they were doing. Though. I know they're setting up for what's to come. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's like all the power dynamics flipped.
Right, right. So now your girl, she the HBIC. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
and I
I
didn't.
like that shot where they showed the one xenomorph, and then he had the baby right next to it. I said, look at the little
Yeah,
baby xenomorph, man. We've never seen that before.
yo, they ganged up, yo. Like that's what I'm saying. They got a
Yeah,
OP team, and I'm just like, and then with the eye, I was like, yo, I don't think I didn't hear nobody think that Arthur was going to be the um the body
yeah.
he takes over or she
Right,
takes
right.
over.
I didn't
But
see
then I
that coming.
thought
Yeah,
about it. I was like, he usually like the eye usually goes for something that's already dead, or you know.
yeah.
But that's a
Which
surprise.
they foreshadowed that shit in the beginning. I was wondering why they showed his body in the beginning, and then that's how it ended. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because we were sitting here thinking, oh, it was going to be Joe or it was going to be Boy, which I
Right.
could definitely see that the eye probably still wants Boy,
Yeah.
just with all the because of the position that Boy is in, and if
Right.
he's able to take over him, or just I'm so curious to see like what the eye is really planning and how would the eye be able to combat like two xenomorphs and all them synthetics and stuff like
Right.
obviously there's like the real threat to the eye is going to be Wendy and the xenomorphs and stuff. That's
Right.
probably it.
But
And
now,
maybe a little and maybe Morrow and stuff like that if he gets that ends up getting out or just kind of switching sides.
but aren't they gonna need some more eggs though? Because xenomorphs themselves can't reproduce, right? So you need more of those eggs with the fucking face huggers to make more of them.
Yeah, they still
Right.
had like how many was in that little I think there was
Oil
like
space
5 of
thing.
them.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah,
finally
but no,
see what the
I
one
dug it.
the Venus flytrap should do. That shit was fucking crazy. Because when I saw that
Oh
shit
yeah,
on the
that was
wall, I was like,
wild.
"What the
Yeah.
fuck is that?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Bro, you better turn the fuck around."
Yeah.
I was like,
Dog.
"Yo," she got yoked the fuck up and just, it's just done.
Yo, it's crazy. I was talking to Terrence tonight, right? And Terrence,
Mm.
he's not a fan of the show. He was saying there's just too much damn talking. He was like, dude, there's too much talking, not enough alien action. I was like, well, I guess I kind of understand what you're coming from, but I don't know. I just like how they're just expanding the universe and the lore, and,
Yeah, then it's just
and
like it's not just
introducing
the
us.
xenomorphs that are a threat out here. Like it's
Right, right.
multiple things
So
now. It's just like
yeah, it's world building like that. They're world building, So now when season 2 comes, now we can really get into the shit.
right. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And like I
yeah.
said, we're gonna get more xenomorphs because Moral's backup is still on the way too. So they're gonna have this whole like little mini war on this island.
Yeah, yeah, that shit gonna be crazy. Yeah, I think season 2 is gonna surprise a lot of people. So yeah, the ones that's talking shit now, I'm like, okay, this way, kind of like Dune and Dune 2. You know what I'm saying? Dune was all
Mhm.
about the world building, but then when 2 came, that's when everything fucking popped off. You know what I mean? So I think it's gonna be that kind of
Yeah,
situation.
when old girl sees Arthur walking up with his guts out and stuff like that, she's gonna be, bruh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't think they got like a healing factor or nothing like that. But like that'd be pretty fucking
not that I
crazy.
know of. To the androids, right?
No, no, I'm talking about the eye. Like if it could
Oh, the
like
eye. Oh,
repair like damaged things and whatnot. That would be pretty OP fucking P too.
yeah, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy, man. All right, so now, okay, I think we should do two more, right? We should do, okay, what's your Mount Rushmore of? Well, not okay, not Mount Rushmore, but who would you say is the most underrated monsters that don't get talked about enough?
The Tremors.
Good one.
Tremors, and also bring up Dune, the sandworms. The sandworms are really fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think the sandworms are really cool and terrifying at the same time.
But they just became cool though. Like they
Yeah,
were cool back in the 80s.
but it's crazy how many like different medias have used sandworms in the same way like Dune has, and then like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. But the way that Denny has done it, like that shit was fucking dope. I think.
Thanks.
I'm curious to see what they do in the future. I know one thing about a particular character. Do you care for a spoiler? But it's like after Messiah, like
No,
after
good.
Doom. Um, who Paul's son is, and Paul's son actually merges. I don't know how he does, but I just know like I've seen pictures he merges with a sandworm.
Oh, the
Yeah,
fuck?
so that's like I say it gets crazy. Like so,
Kind of like together.
yeah, like he almost look like Jabba, like
Oh,
in a way.
damn.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like yo, like fucking George Lucas been biting, man. Like
Oh shit, Jabba with muscles. God damn.
I'll show you the picture with people see he look like and shit like that. But
Yeah.
um
But
stuff like
Tremors was a
that.
good one though, man. Tremors was a
Yeah.
good pick. I forgot about Tremors.
Pumpkinhead. Pumpkinhead is a good is an
Yep.
underrated monster.
Yep. I have that on my list.
Uh the shit from the faculty, since we're speaking about like alien things, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Oh
you know
yeah.
what is another underrated Dreamcatchers. Nobody talks about that. That shit was actually pretty dope. I like that movie.
I never seen that, surprisingly.
I know you had to see that. It was like I think it was based off of Stephen King jump where it's like a it almost reminded me of the thing a little bit where it's just like the thing would just this alien shit would just kind of hop into different people and stuff. And I'm pretty sure you've seen Dreamcatcher. You probably just haven't seen the
I
joint.
haven't
I'll
seen it in
send
a
you the
while.
trailer.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta check that out. But nah, those are some good picks, man. I put down Wishmaster. I think Wishmaster is very underrated. That doesn't get
Oh
talked
yeah,
about. The
yeah,
Gym.
for sure.
Yeah, yeah. The Gym is
Um,
crazy. That movie is very criminally underrated. 'Cause that movie so like I watched it recently and that shit's I forgot how gruesome that movie was, man. Wishmaster is gruesome as shit.
they had that one episode of Masters of Horror, the one where it had the little girl in the cellar. I forget that was the best one though, but I think it was like the fair skinned child or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me think of another one. All the 13 ghosts. They're ghosts. They're not really monsters.
What
Da, da, da,
what
da, da,
about
da.
them picking any girls from what you call
Fuck yeah,
Lovecraft
those shits are scary as fuck. I don't even like thinking about them. So I could think about them dancing really slow, walking
Yeah.
slowly, more closer and closer. Another
Mm.
one, you know those monster movies where it's like just the parasites, the ones that you can't really see, those
Can't
the
really
like the
see.
skin eating. No,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think or you know, I wouldn't consider cabin fever to be like a monster thing, whatever, but like just the fact that it had like a flesh eating thing, whatever, that's kind of scary too.
Yeah.
Jaws is definitely up there, you
Jaws, oh
know,
yeah, Bruce. Yep. I think, I
because
did a
that
video about it. I said, I think the shark from Jaws 2 is probably the most monstrous out of all of them, just because that motherfucker was mean and too. Like Jaws in the second movie was like slasher mode. And he had the burnt face like Freddy. Yeah, I agree
Trying to
with
think
that.
of some more because now a lot like I remember a lot of different horror creature like a different creatures and monsters from like Goosebumps and Are You Afraid of the Dark? They
What
had
about what do you think about Rawhead Rex?
Rawhead Rex.
You remember that joint?
Where's that from?
As that was a movie. That was a 1986 Clive Barker joint. It was based off a Clive Barker story. That's the one where they were in Ireland and Rawhead Rex is like he's a demon that got buried like thousands of years ago, and they were doing construction and they accidentally picked up the big ass rock that was holding him down, and he escapes and
That's
he
crazy. I'm
yeah
gonna find
and
that. I'm
he
gonna,
yeah and he finds he puts the preacher under a curse where now the priest works for him. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Works for the demon. Yeah, he's like a big ass motherfucking monster too, like the Predator almost, man.
mm.
Yeah, he's like this big ass demon creature. Yeah, Rawhead Rex. Yep, look it up.
What's another one? I really like I'm pick another anime one. Like they got some really cool monsters, but they're called hollows and stuff. I'm not gonna go into explanation, but like those
Yeah.
shits when they pull up, like they come in like different variations and shit. I'll show you
Mm,
like screenshots of that. Those shits are fucking cool.
yeah.
They have a really cool design about them. Even though like I wouldn't consider them monsters, but you know they're terrifying. They're pretty terrifying. If you see like a
Yeah.
sky, in the fact that you can't see them unless if you're like a Soul Reaper or something like that, you wouldn't be like normal people can't see them, but Soul Reapers they could see it. You see a fucking the sky split open and you see these big ass fucking what the fuck did they call? I forgot what they called them, but that was crazy. Yeah, I want to see more monster movies. I think it's time. Like even whether it's like
Oh yeah.
kaiju, you know what I'm saying, just creatures, and I think
Oh, what
uh
about remember the Raft Creep Show 2?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
shit, yeah, yeah. Even though you only saw it
That'd
one
be
time, like
fucked.
it was a blob rip off, man. But that fuck was lethal.
Yeah, man, it's like such a simple story.
It was because like the most terrifying thing to me with that one was when the girl was she was sleeping. Remember, she was sleeping on the side of her face, and your boy was
Yeah.
like he was grabbing on her while he was touching her while she was asleep, and she was like moving like ugh, like stop. And next thing she would have grabbing her face, and that motherfucker got a
Yeah.
hold of her, and I was like, oh damn,
Yeah, that's
no.
crazy. Um I feel like Krampus is kind of underrated.
I gotta watch that one. Yeah, I haven't seen Krampus.
It's pretty decent. I think that was PG-13. I think that's the only thing that was kind of holding it back, but
Mm,
it was solid. The
yeah,
the old bit the old bitch from well she's fucking a demon from hell. I was thinking about the bitch from um
what Dead Silence?
Drag Me to Hell.
Oh, Drag Me to Hell. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Valak, I would say because he's a demon.
valid. Why that name sound
Oh,
familiar?
you didn't watch the Conjuring movies, right?
No, I haven't.
Damn. At least watch Conjuring 2, yo, because Valak, that motherfucker stands on business. That's a scary motherfucker. He don't hide nothing, bro.
Uh,
He's gonna be he pull up, bro. But like it's the nun picture, like you know what I'm saying, the nun. But
oh,
that was
okay,
like one
okay.
of my favorite characters from the Conjuring. It's like that
Yeah, because
motherfucker.
the nun was a dude, right? The whole time, right?
Yeah, it was
Or that
a
demon was a
demon.
dude. Okay, the demon.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But just his introduction was crazy. Just the picture and just how they utilize it, where it's just like, um, it's just a picture frame, and then you just see the picture getting closer and closer. And then all of a sudden, you see the whole figure kind of like you see you see the picture, then like half of it, the rest of the half is like where you kind of just see the Valak just hiding behind the picture, like
Mm.
holding up the picture while coming closer to you. That shit was
Oh
fucking
hell,
crazy.
that's terrifying. Yeah, that sounds terrifying, man.
Yeah, that shit was
Oh
wild, man.
man.
But
Oh shit, we forgot to mention the monsters from Pan's Labyrinth, the one that with the eyes, with the hands over the
yeah,
eyes.
yeah, that shit was crazy.
Yeah.
That's a trippy movie. Donnie Darko, would you consider?
I've
That had
never
to be
seen
a
Donnie
monster.
Darko. I feel terrible, Perp. I haven't seen Donnie Darko.
Mm,
Yeah,
I haven't seen it in a minute.
I gotta get on my shit, man. I gotta get on my shit. Damn.
You said the creeper. Yeah, the creeper is definitely. Yo,
The creeper,
there's
yep.
been this crazy ass trend going on TikTok where this chick said like I could take the creeper, and then like there's this account called Big Creep,
Mm-hmm.
and he dresses up like the creeper and got the picture and started sniffing and licking it, and everybody, yo, this is the funniest shit that's been going on TikTok, yo. That shit was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it's a shame that the guy that made that movie, because of what happened, now those movies are
Yeah.
not even like talked about. But bro,
And
you
probably
can't erase the work.
that's probably why Hollywood, like big studios, don't even want to touch it or try to make remakes
Oh
or
man,
of
but
it and stuff.
especially that first movie, man, it was so good though, man. Like that could have
Mhm.
easily been another successful franchise, like an Elm Street or Friday the 13th. Jeepers
I
Creepers was
think
crazy.
I think eventually we will get another like big budget, like a decent budget, not big like you don't need me like 100 million, but you know what I'm saying, like a
Right.
decent budget. Like somebody will come probably get a redesign creeper or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody at the helm, like gotta let some like probably like 5-10 years from now for people to kind of forget about dude. You know what I'm saying? But people still love the creeper though. That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
there's money
yeah.
on the table there.
For sure, man. Yeah, that's that first one, man. And it like what made that movie kind of creepy was that usually, these monster movies have a formula where, at the end, the final girl, the final boy triumphs and defeats the monster.
Nope.
But in this case, nah.
He took his eyes.
He took his eye. Yo, did you see the alternate version of that where they had all alternate ending to that
I
movie?
think I remember it on the DVD like a long time ago. But
Yeah, that's where I saw it on the DVD. Yes, yeah, so they had an alternate ending where he had like human skin,
mm,
and then you see him put the eyes in, right. So he has the dude's eyes, and he has human skin, but it's still like the creeper. He looks scary as shit. And then the last
you
shot is
know
him looking into the camera.
the only person I see doing a Jeepers Creepers, and God forbid if they fucking do it, but I could see fucking Blumhouse.
Yeah, for sure.
But honestly, I think I would be more optimistic in it with Blumhouse just to see what they do.
Yeah, I think Jeepers Creepers is like the perfect vehicle for them to tackle. You know what I'm saying? I think that'd be
Yeah.
right up their alley. But like something like say, I don't know, like Psycho or something like that, or like a horror movie with intelligence. Don't fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? Stay in your lane. You know what I mean? Just stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You say
And
you had another one?
did I have another one? Well, okay. Well, I guess because I know Mount Rushmore is like like narrowed down to 4, but who would you say are like the best
Top
monster
four.
top 4? Not including because Godzilla's a king, so Godzilla is in a whole thing by itself. You know what I'm saying? So excluding Godzilla, your top 4 movie monsters,
Okay, movie monsters. That's just any monster.
any
Okay.
monster,
Oh.
yeah.
Um. Gotta put Jason up there.
Okay.
Frankenstein, because you know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying.
The OG.
If it wasn't for Frankenstein, like you wouldn't have no slashers. To be real, probably wouldn't have no slashers.
Yeah.
Um, I like the Wolfman, the original Wolfman,
Mm-hmm.
and the Thing. I'll put the Thing there.
Damn. Good.
No,
Good list.
no particular order though.
No
Just that's the
particular order.
four. Yeah.
That's a good list. Yeah, I would say, yeah, definitely the Xenomorph, Fred Krueger.
Mm.
Um, okay, so you say Wolfman, yo, I'll say David the Werewolf from Werewolf of London.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That motherfucker was
Okay.
vicious. That fucker was
Mm.
vicious. I would put him in there. And
Yeah.
I got one more. I would say, ooh, you know what? This may be a hot take, man. Yo, I'll put the creeper in there, man.
That's not a hot take, man. Creeper can go. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I
Even the
put the
dude,
creeper
old
in
dude,
there.
is a weirdo, but like
Yeah.
Creeper, Creeper's still up there. He's an iconic.
Yo, because he takes on because first he takes on like the Undertaker look where he's got the jacket and the hat, and then
Mm-hmm.
he becomes a bat where he fucking flies.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then
You
he's like just a straight up, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, like he took on like many horrifying forms in that
you
movie.
know going back to your underrated monsters, I would say I'm gonna add the Smile monster up there.
Oh, good pick. Good pick.
Yeah,
Yeah, good pick.
wasn't the biggest fan of Smile too, even though like was it Naomi Scott?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Naomi Scott, yeah.
she she was incredible in that, but that fucking Smile monster always
Mm-hmm.
comes out on top every movie, so I respect
Right,
that.
right. Really? So you didn't like that? I prefer the second one over the first one, honestly.
I just feel like the whole Smile kind of thing kind of wore off. He was a little too much, and like where the first one felt a little bit more subtle, maybe because it was expanding. You know, I get that like it's an interesting concept, like you give that Smile demon whatever
Right.
um more people to work with, but I just feel like I don't know. I like the tone of the first one. The first one, just because like a lot of people didn't know about it, or it's still kind of I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. I liked it a little bit more, but I'm still curious to see what they do with the third one and stuff, and how more ridiculous it would get.
Right, right. Yeah, no, I'm down for a third one. Yeah, because I watched the first one. I think I watched the second one first. How did I do it? Yeah, you know, okay, I did watch the first one first, and I was like, okay, this shit kind of sucked. And then the second movie, I said, okay, that's a lot better. So yeah, I'm definitely open for a third one now.
Yeah, we'll see. And then they're making a series, so I want to see what they do with that. If that's still on the
Mhm.
table or not. Um,
Right.
yeah, that was cool talk. Cool talk about
Yeah, yeah.
different monsters and stuff like that. Let me know if you're watching this live or the replay, your thoughts on everything that's been talked about and whatnot. But you got anything you want to plug or anything you got going?
Well, you know what?
What do you when are you gonna start the um um like the run of
spooky season. Oh yeah,
yeah, yeah,
because October 1st is what. Well, you know what? I think the first will be a good start because Elm Street comes out that day, and I'm gonna see that on the
yeah.
big screen. So I think I'm gonna start with that one. Yeah, so I'm gonna start on Wednesday. Definitely.
Word.
Yeah,
You got
yeah.
and I say
I'm excited about that.
you gotta add Hereditary to one of those days. You know what I'm saying? I think
Yeah. Second chance. Yep. I'm gonna start a second chance series where I'm gonna watch something that stuff that I hated and see if I dislike it the second time around.
that's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope.
Maybe after some drinks, maybe it'll be better.
Yeah, on my end, I'm just getting ready for Perptober. My new intro for Perptober is already done. It looks nice. I'm really pleased with it. It's very simple.
Nice.
Um, I'll have a schedule out on my Twitter and also on the community tab, so just be on the lookout for that. As far as different movies, I know they got a Scream Unseen this Monday coming up, so that's most likely going to be Bone Lake because
Mm,
of the runtime. And
yeah.
we also have Good Boy, which I'm looking forward to watching. So be on the lookout for that review alongside Bone Lake as well. Which when I heard the title, because I didn't look nothing into it, but it's just like, oh, that's what they're doing.
Mm.
That's why it's called Bone Lake. That's funny as hell. So um, I was like, that's kind of on the nose. It's interesting. That's going to be interesting. VHS Halloween, I'm looking forward to, even though I fucking hate the poster. The poster is like this skull wrapped up in it's like a lollipop and a wrapper and shit. I was like, man,
Yeah.
you couldn't just because I like the whole orange font that they were going for, but that was like non-existent there. I was hoping they would go kind of lean more into the orange and black, something with those that kind of color palette or some shit like that. But I'm hearing really good things. Like people that got to go see the movie at the Fantastic Fest and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So got that coming soon next week. But yeah, that's all I got for tonight. I will see y'all in the next one.
Peace.